Alright, now let's go through the process of downloading and installing BrewPi using the custom BrewPi tools, as well as installing the firmware onto an ESP8266 device. So, first thing that you're going to do is connect to your Raspberry Pi. And then once you're connected, if you haven't already, go ahead and install the tool for Git. So I'm just going to type in sudo apt-get install git, type yes, and then let that install. Okay, once that finishes installing, it'll take a little under a minute. Go ahead and clone the repo onto your Raspberry Pi. With repo clone, change into the directory. And then you can see in here you've got 4 shell scripts. Install ESP8266.sh, install.sh, updated.py, and update tools repo.sh. The first one that we're going to run is install.sh. So this will actually download a lot of the packages that are required for the BrewPi installation. Go ahead and let it download everything. It'll take a few minutes. Alright, so once that installation finishes, go ahead and start just working through the prompts that it gives you. And then once that completes, you are ready to go ahead and begin the next step, which actually is installing the ESP8266 firmware tools. To do that, just simply run the install ESP8266 shell script, and that will download and install the tools that you need. Once you reach this prompt, this is asking you where you want to download the firmware to. We're going to go ahead and have it download to home BrewPi ESP8266. And at this point, we are ready to begin the flashing process. All right, before we go any further, if you have not done so already, you need to go ahead and plug your ESP8266 device into your Raspberry Pi using a micro USB cable. I highly recommend, if possible, that you unplug any other USB devices that are connected to the Raspberry Pi so that we don't accidentally flash something that you're not intending to flash. Once you've done that, go ahead and change to the directory that you installed the firmware into. So in here, you can see that you have 2 different versions of the firmware, a serial version and a Wi-Fi version. I'm going to go and use the Wi-Fi version. This allows you to connect to your BrewPi wirelessly using Wi-Fi. The command that you actually use to flash is the last thing that was written out right here as part of the installation script. I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste that in, and then hit enter, and it should start flashing. And after about 30 seconds, we're done. The next step is actually going to be setting up Wi-Fi on your ESP8266 device. Alright, so if everything worked well, then what you should be able to do is see a new wireless network available called ESP and then some string of numbers afterwards. Let's go ahead and connect to that wireless network. And then once you've connected to that wireless network, a screen such as this should pop up. If it doesn't, try opening a web browser and you should see one. One thing that's very important, write down this number that you see, the ESP8395301. We're going to need that later in order to actually hook this up to the BrewPi. Once you get to the screen, hit Configure Wi-Fi, locate your wireless network and select it, type in your password, and hit Save. At this point, your device should disconnect and attempt to connect to your Wi-Fi network. Go ahead and reconnect your computer to your Wi-Fi network as well.